A scientific breakthrough appears on a screen. No expedition, no late-night insight, no moment of sudden human genius. Just output. A system predicts the structure of a protein scientists had spent decades trying to understand. And it works. Within months, researchers confirm it. The model was right. The discovery didn't begin with curiosity. It began with computation. Before anyone understood the problem, the system had already solved it. When discovery happens before human understanding, authority shifts away from human insight. That's the moment we crossed. Not when AI started helping science, when it started finding things we never knew how to look for. Discovery used to have a story. Someone searched, failed, tried again. A scientist running experiments for years. An astronomer scanning images night after night. A researcher following an intuition nobody else believed. Breakthroughs carried effort. You could trace them back to a person. Someone asked the question. Someone noticed something strange. Someone stayed curious long enough to uncover it. Discovery required limits. You only found what you could imagine searching for. Even mistakes mattered. Wrong turns shaped understanding. Dead ends refined instinct. The struggle wasn't separate from discovery. When something was finally revealed, wonder followed naturally, because humans knew what it cost to get there. That effort gave discovery meaning. A discovery wasn't just information, it was a human moment. Someone realized something about reality that nobody else had seen before, and for a brief second, humanity understood the world differently. That emotional weight mattered as much as the finding itself. Discovery changed how people saw themselves too. Students chose careers because of explorers they admired. Entire generations grew up believing the unknown waited for human courage, not processing power, to bring it into the light. Now consider what happened with DeepMind's AlphaFold. For decades, biologists struggled to predict how proteins fold, one of the hardest problems in science. Understanding protein shape determines how diseases form, how drugs work, how life functions at the molecular level. Researchers spent entire careers solving single structures. Then AlphaFold analyzed massive biological datasets and predicted thousands of protein structures in months. Structures humans hadn't solved. Structures humans didn't even know how to approach. Scientists didn't discover them first. They verified them afterward. Today, drug researchers routinely begin with AlphaFold predictions instead of years of laboratory trial and error. Entire research timelines shrink from decades to months, meaning scientists increasingly start from answers generated before human investigation begins. The lab didn't begin with curiosity. It began with confirmation. Discovery moves from human questioning to system detection. The system searched possibility space at a scale no mind could hold. Patterns emerged without intuition. Relationships appeared without imagination. The discovery arrived fully formed. Humans caught up later. Researchers described the experience as strange. Instead of chasing answers, they opened databases already filled with solutions, discoveries waiting quietly for human interpretation. The excitement remained. But the journey had changed. Researchers weren't standing at the edge of mystery anymore. They were opening results already generated somewhere else. Like arriving late to a conversation, reality had already started without them. The threshold isn't when AI assists research, it's when humans confirm results they never conceived. A climate model identifies interactions no scientist predicted. A materials model proposes compounds never designed by humans. Astronomy systems detect planetary signals buried in noise no observer could recognize. The sequence reverses. The system finds. Humans explain. When humans validate discoveries instead of originating them, intellectual authority begins to shift. You no longer ask, "What should we look for?" You ask, What did the model find? That sounds efficient, but something subtle disappears. Curiosity used to lead discovery. Now discovery leads curiosity. Scientists increasingly explore results rather than pursue questions. The unknown still exists, but humans arrive after the first encounter has already happened inside computation. Wonder becomes retrospective. The emotional order flips. Instead of discovery creating surprise, explanation follows it. Scientists feel amazement after confirmation, not during pursuit, because the breakthrough happened before anyone experienced the search. Science continues, labs operate, papers publish, breakthroughs accelerate. But the emotional structure changes. If discoveries arrive without struggle, achievement feels different. You still learn something extraordinary, but humanity didn't wrestle it from nature. A system surfaced it. When systems reveal reality before humans experience discovery, meaning shifts from exploration to interpretation. Young researchers now train differently. They learn to guide models, interpret outputs, refine data sets. Less time searching, more time understanding what was already found. The explorer becomes an interpreter. You can feel this shift outside science too. Maps already completed, recommendations already chosen, answers already surfaced before questions fully form. The world begins to feel pre-discovered. You notice it quietly. Fewer moments of stumbling onto something unknown, more moments of being shown what already exists. Reality starts feeling less like territory to explore and more like information waiting to load. And interpretation carries less ownership than discovery. Discovery still happens, but the first moment of knowing increasingly belongs elsewhere, not to effort, not to doubt, not to wonder, to computation. And when humanity stops being the species that finds first, our relationship with knowledge changes. If we didn't struggle toward the truth, does it feel like ours in the same way? If the system discovers reality before we understand it, what role is left for us? If this left you unsettled, that's because discovery has always been part of how humans understand themselves. When AI finds what we never could, knowledge grows, but our place inside discovery quietly changes. If this made you see discovery differently, tap the like button. It helps more people recognize the shift already underway. Subscribe to become part of the Unlocked, where we explore what still belongs to humanity as intelligence changes around us. And if someone you know still believes discovery will always begin with us, share this with them, because the biggest change isn't that machines learn. It's that they may now be the first to know. Because the future isn't coming, it's already here.